Yo, welcome everybody back to your favorite podcast. It's 2.5 Black Men. I'm Brucey D.
I'm MG.
SB Messer.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us for the first time, we break our show down into 4 separate segments, with the first being food for thought, where we want to get started with a topic that we would like to share with you, something that's happened to us in the last week, something that we saw in the last week, something interesting. So, with that being said, SB, I know you're in a car right now, but do you want to get us started with a little food for thought?
Just started. Y'all take it. But I like to give talk to y'all about things that happened. Start a segment about things that pretty much happened to me in my life. Yesterday made me realize why I cannot stand the cat. I volunteered yesterday to park cars. Didn't know where I was going, but ended up on a ranch in the middle of nowhere, Texas. Realized I was around gas money and oil money. Realized around gas money and oil money, there was older white men and white women. Which we all know old folks tend to be the more racist folks. And it also made me realize it's hard to be black in America, and being black in America is a trauma unto itself. There are 2 things from last night that sticks out in my mind and pissed me off. Exhibit A. One guy, I forgot, I don't know if he's a CEO or he's a shower or something, or some oil company. I came by, pulled his number, go get his card. I gave it to the other guy that was working with me. Trying to carry on a conversation with the guy. Oh, hey, what you got going on tomorrow? Tomorrow Sunday, hi, there's no Sunday football. He proceeds to look at me. He's like, man, I'm kind of over football. I don't like football. I'm like, okay, well, you must be a football guy. Like baseball? Like, honestly, I'm over sports altogether. So I look over at him. I was saying, oh, what sports did he in? He looked at me, he hesitated. Mind the fact, this is an older white man, maybe like his 50s, 60s. Turn around, pause, says that to me. Like, a big exhale, I'm tired of fucking politics in my sports. This Black Lives Matter and something else is bullshit. I'm like, okay, well, that is. Exhibit B. There was another white couple, looked very influent, very well, nice put together. I'm sitting down taking a break. We done parked all the cars. We done marked the numbers on the keys and everything. So niggas just chilling. Niggas just chilling. So this maybe like 50-year-old couple come behind me. I was actually some sheriffs behind me, and I was talking to them, having a nice little conversation. They was both Hispanic, just talking to them. So the couple proceeds to walk right by me, go shakes the officer's hands, and said, "We stand next to you. Blue lives matter." I'm like, y'all know what the fuck going on, do y'all? Then the last, Exhibit C. I forgot about Exhibit C. Exhibit C is a C1 and a C2. C1 is a nigga parking cars all day. I'm like, yo, can I go use the bathroom? They're like, honestly, I don't think you can go in there because I don't feel like that'd be comfortable with you in there. I'm like, oh, I'm like, fuck that. That guy, he telling me that Mr. and Mrs. is not allowed the slaves in the house to use the restroom. And then I'm like, oh, so where am I supposed to go? Then where am I supposed to go? And it's like, well, don't walk around that much. They don't want you looking at it. They make them feel uncomfortable. You can go around the side of the building. I'm like, what the fuck in my head? They're like, oh, where the help? I'm like, I'm afraid of the help again. I don't know. Being black in America is consistently being reminded that motherfuckers think that they're better than you and they continue to belittle you. Yes.
Sometimes it is just another day in America. I think everything that SB said he went through while he was down there in the bottom top of Texas, it just sounds like things that we go through on a day-to-day basis. Sounds like a bunch of people who not only ain't with the shits, but also don't care to be with the shits. And it's almost hard for me to blame them in that sense. Like, imagine you come from oil money. You ain't never had to go through the ghetto. You ain't never had to worry about where you were going to eat. They don't care about what's going down at the bottom, and it showed. So if that man doesn't like his politics in sports, I can't say I agree with him for not liking his politics in sports. I can't say I'm going to change his opinion for not liking his politics in sports. But the man said he doesn't care. He said, ain't nothing going to happen in this world to make me care. And he said, y'all's problems is y'all's problems. And that sounds very, very America-ish of him. So I am not surprised to see that what took place in Texas did not take place and does take place in America every single day. Color me not surprised. Not surprised.
And it's bullshit, bro. It's bullshit, bro. It kind of reminds me that I'm not a lesser being, but they view me as a lesser being. And I'm tired of this shit. Hell, that whole experience made me realize about the experience the time where I was using my girlfriend's bike back in college, well, my ex-girlfriend's bike back in college, and I drive to the back of the alley. 2 cop cars pull me over and put the guns on me because they say I stole the bike. I'm like, dog, it's a bright pink bike, and I go to school here. And it consistently reminds motherfuckers that, like, they think so little of us, but yet know so little about us.
Yo, I do want to say, them cops at Louisville were very, very racist. I remember I was walking between Kurz and the Bellamy or the Providence back at the time. And you know how there's that giant parking lot. It's the only parking lot that has the overway bridge. You can cut from main campus to off-campus housing. I was walking back there. This dude said, "What are you doing here?" And I looked at him and I was like, walking. And he was like, "You can't be here." And I was like, "But I go to school here." And he was like, "You can't be here without a permit for a car." And I was like, "So you're telling me I can't walk from main campus to off campus where my tuition dollars are paying for this shitty ass parking lot without a permit?" And he was like, "No, you can't." And I was like, you know what, sir? I can't do that. You want to know why I can't do that? Because your ass is out here guarding cars with that yellow ass t-shirt on, and I'm actually trying to get an education, so I'm not out here guarding cars with a yellow ass t-shirt on. So you know what, sir? I'm going to walk back the other way because you and your cheap ass t-shirt can go about your way.
It also reminds me of a time where I was chilling in the minority, waiting for my class to start. I had a homie that lived there. And then as I walk out the door, security started chasing me and said, "Yo, come back here, come back here." I'm like, "Yo, what'd I do?" They said, "You stole that binder." I'm like, "No, what?" It just so happened he thought somebody stole the sign-in binder, went through my shit, realized that was a project that I was working on. I'm like, "Dog, I go to school here, fam."
Yeah, man. In light of everything that's going on in the country, you know, up in Minnesota, up in Chicago, everything, you know, that we don't even have to touch and talk about. Like, we all have our stories.
No, tell the people. Tell the people what's going on.
Well, you already know, man. It's crazy. You know, this happened. We didn't hop on last week, but I think it happened about a week ago, maybe even a little bit longer ago. Literally like 10 miles away from where George Floyd was murdered and where the trial for Derek Chauvin's going on. Another black man was shot. You know, young man up in Minnesota. Kid. He was a kid. He was 20 or 21 years old, which is crazy. There's that. And in Chicago, a 13-year-old boy got shot. It's just crazy, man. It's weird, you know. We sat here and talked all last year about, you know, it's starting to feel a little different in the streets after George Floyd. People starting to wake up. People starting to understand kind of what's going on. But, hey, bro, we're literally... Yeah, and we're literally a whole year later in the same predicament, in the same city, the same cities, from Tamir Rice to my boy who R.I.P. passed away due to cops in Chicago, a 13-year-old kid. His name's not
Adam Toledo.
Adam Toledo. Thank you, MG. But yeah, man, it's just crazy. And like, all of us got our stories, man. SB told you about his experience. MG's told you about mine, you know. With the cops, I've been pulled over 4 times. Well, most recently 5 times, but before that it was 4 times. For speeding. Just different times between high school and now, right? Out of those 4 times, twice I had to be put in the cop car 50% of the time, I've been put in the cop car when I've been pulled over by the police. And that second time that I got pulled over, it wasn't even for speeding. Buddy told me I had too much hanging off my rearview mirror, brought me into the cop car, asked if I had any weapons. You know, it was just crazy. And like, you got 3 black men sitting on here in this podcast telling you their specific stories, telling you what's going on. And I mean, if y'all refuse to listen, if anybody refuses to listen to us, then that's just y'all being willfully ignorant. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, it just seems like nothing's changing. I don't know, gentlemen. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the times I felt the most removed from a situation like this. I think the reason why I feel this way is because not only have I not paid attention to the trial, to the Derek Chauvin trial up in Minnesota, I haven't paid attention to what's going on with Dante Wright. I haven't paid attention to what's going on with Adam Toledo. And I don't mean that as I'm not paying attention because, you know, I don't care. I mean that just because they're making it so hard for us to continue to do this that you don't want to listen to it. Like, you don't want to pay attention to the news. You don't want to promote anything Black Lives Matter because you realize we've been doing this thing for the past 10 years. And frankly, at the 10-year point, if it hadn't stuck, it ain't going to stuck. So, I mean, it's one of those things, you know, y'all are going to do what y'all are going to do, and we're going to do what we're going to do. And I hate to make it sound so blunt about it, but it's like I now view cops as a threat. And I'm not saying that in the sense of, you know, how it used to be. I view my safety. No, it's like cops are a threat to me. And I'm saying this on this podcast, and I'm saying this in whatever way you take it. It's that, you know, if you're in a situation like that where police officers drawing a weapon on you, you need to do whatever it takes for you to survive. Whatever needs to be done for you to survive, you need to do that, because we're simply at that situation where we can't play any games with them and think that, you know, oh yeah, they're gonna let me walk free, because it's simply not that case. You know, we've seen it from rent-a-cops, we've seen it from the fake cops, we've seen it from citizens' arrests, but we've also seen it from the police officers as a whole. So whatever you need to do to get out of that situation, go on ahead and do it, because chances are there's a 50-50 chance that you ain't gonna be walking out of that situation, which is unfortunate.
And I agree with you, MG. And like me personally, I don't deal in recreational sadness, no recreational trauma. And I haven't seen the video since shit. Who knows who? And then people look at me like I'm crazy. Like, you didn't see that video, this video, but they're all starting to be the same. They're all starting to be reruns, starting to be over and over again. And it sucks. I care, but I just can't keep watching this shit. It's things like sometimes I'm like an ostrich putting my head under the ground, because it's like overwhelming at points in times, but it's just like, shit, nigga. Like, is it ever going to end? Will it end? Should we separate? Like, what? What can we do?
It's true, man. And it just feels so normalized at this point that it's just like, here we go again. And every story is the same. I'm the same way. I can't watch that video of a 13-year-old boy dying from getting shot. I can't watch, I can't watch those videos, bro. The only video I saw was, it was like a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, of that lieutenant in the military, I think it was the Army, getting pulled over, and these 2 cops just yanking him out of his car, man. Dude is frightened. He's in his car with his hands up like, okay, I'm going to take off my seatbelt, asking. He has rights. The police have to tell him why he's being pulled over. They didn't. They maced him. They did this and that. Hey, bro, sitting behind me is Colin Kaepernick. Y'all crucified him for disrespecting the flag. And I mean, disrespecting soldiers. And then you see those 2 cops do that. What's it really about? Tell us what it's really about.
According to the old white oil money and gas man, they don't want politics in their sports. We should just stick to what we know, which is filling them fields and picking that cotton. That's how you look at us.
We should just stick to what we know.
We're looking at that same thing all over. Like, let's be frankly honest with it. You know, y'all can say that it's only been two. I'm not saying y'all as in you all. I'm saying y'all as the world. You all can say that it's just Adam Toledo, and, it's just the Army general, and it's just Dante Wright, and this is all standalone incidents because everything was different. But, you look at it down in Georgia, this dude named Matthew Zodak Williams got, shot and killed by the police in his own home. And they left him for dead. I mean, we see this shit every single year, and I really don't know what exactly they want to say at this point. By no means are we bowing down or have we bowed down, but it's just like, it sounds like it's going to be another hot summer. I mean, and what else y'all want to say? It's going to be another hot summer, like that one dude with the can of soup for his family. If it's a can of soup for his family at a protest, just assume that it's a can of soup. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I don't really want to talk to anybody about it. Kind of numb to it, but not really numb, more just like silently aggressive. Basically what I mean by that is we're not talking no more. That's all I'm gonna say. We ain't talking no more. You want to be racist to me? Let me know. Let me know. I got time. Like my friends on Instagram said earlier this week, they said, if you would like to arrange a 3-round, 60-second bout, let me know a time and a place, and I'll be willing to pull up.
It's facts, man. It's facts. Like, I was talking to my girl this past week, and it's just like last year when we were in the pandemic and George Floyd happened, like I was mentally and just exhausted, and just like it hit me real hard. And it's weird, man. This time, now that we're busy, now that it feels like we're repeating events of last year, like y'all said, man, it's you feel numb to it. I don't feel that same way. It's just I feel numb, and I feel like I don't want to talk about it. If this is a conversation that still needs to happen, then y'all just ain't paying attention. So yeah, man.
That on me. I've stopped trying to appease white folks and tell white folks about our problems and everything, because they've been trying to do this. We've been trying to tell white folks for hundreds of years about the issues and struggles that we go through. Don't know what the fuck we gonna do, but I ain't gonna say we don't know what the fuck we gonna do. But how can you break the cycle? But numb to it. I feel like all of us as minorities is kind of just numb to it at this point in time, and I feel like this is where the oppressors want us to be.
Yo, and last thing I'm gonna say, please stop referring to the Derek Chauvin trial as a trial of our lives. Please stop saying that this is the last trial that blatantly, paints the picture of what it means to be Black in America in a situation that was blatantly right or blatantly wrong. We do not need any more emphasis or any more grandiose on the spread on something that has already weighed us so thin. And please, 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 for white people, I understand this is a tough and traumatic experience for you all. I understand that, y'all always haven't gotten in your way. But every time you see a Black person, you don't have to talk to us about the trial. You also don't have to talk to us about that new show that came out on Netflix where the dude gets killed by the police every single day. As SB said, we do not need to engage in recreational trauma.
I'm sorry. What show you talking about, bro? That's a real Netflix shot?
Yeah, there's a movie. There's literally a movie on Netflix right now that has been nominated for an Oscar about a dude who's trying to walk his dog and gets killed by the police. And in every single way, somebody's being killed by the police over the past year. And I don't stand what the hell is wrong with you people. Why would you make that? And tell my white friends, this is not a personal indictment at you all, because I know some of y'all have told me specifically to watch that. I know y'all are great people. But one thing I do want to say is, don't tell me to watch that shit. You don't need to tell the Black man about the way how he dies from the police. I'll be honest with y'all. Every day when I leave my house, I am completely self-aware with the fact that this may be the last time that I leave my house. I am almost expecting to get police violence or to get, killed by the police at this point because of how frequent it is. So please do not give me any ideas on how that can happen to me in any way, shape, or form.
Netflix's Two Distant Strangers is more triggering than thought-provoking. This is an article from sorry, my computer's acting up. From CultureChiron.com, and it stars Joey Badass and he just has a reoccurring dream where he experiences police brutality in different forms. Hey, bruh, why?
Oh, no.
Why is that something we need
To be honest,
to watch, bruh?
Joey Badass question you because why did you even sign on to do that movie?
A check.
Hey, ain't no check that worth. Ain't no check that.
That's
Why would
crazy,
anybody watch that
bro.
shit? Who would want to watch that? Why
Who
would I put
would
myself
want-
through that? I'm gonna wake up. I'm be sad. I'm gonna be sad and scared. Why don't I want to be like that?
It's crazy,
Like,
bro.
SB, you thought you were slaving this week? You thought you were slaving this weekend? Nah, what Joey Badass did, that was some real slave shit right there. Because I'm like, I'll call it like I see it, bro. That was definition of slaving.
But I wasn't slaving. Absa said that I was a good boy.
Yeah, that's the definition of slaving. My man said, my man wanted to be an actor so bad he had to get up on screen and get a movie about how the ways he got killed, how the ways he actually got killed by the police. Now that's slaving right there. And he made Joey movie hurt me saying that, but nah, that's some slaving shit right there, bro.
But Joey
That's some shucking and
Badass,
jiving.
Joey Badass said, "Mr. and Mrs. look out for him if he does his movie."
Nah, that's some real shucking and jiving shit that I've seen, bro. That's some real shucking and jiving shit.
That's crazy. Yo, how did that conversation go between Joey Badass and like the director? Just, all right, Joey, listen. What we're gonna do is every episode is you getting killed by the police in a different way. And Joey Badass just being like, you know what? I'm in. That sounds great. Yeah, thank you. Nah, bro. That's crazy. Like you said, MG, that's some shucking and jiving
That's
right
some real
there.
shucking and jiving. That's some let me do a jit for a little bit of change. Yeah, bro. That's some real shucking and jiving shit that I saw, bro.
Dang, man.
My food for thought. Being black is a bitch. My food for thought.
That's good food for thought right there, bro. That's facts. That's facts. MG, you got anything you want to share for food for thought today?
Yeah. You know, I really tried to switch up my food for thought segments lately. I really want to start off with a lyric that was impactful to me for the week, and then we can discuss it afterwards. So here's one from the group Black Fortune called 4 Week Notice. Waiting out front of my landlord house with the Drake cause he gave me a 4-week notice. I'ma walk down on my op stock under my armpit like it's a stick of deodorant. My Canada shorty told me I remind her of Drake with the drizzy the way I'm controlling it. I put 100-round drum in that glick. When it hang from the glizzy, it looked like an ornament. Made him throw up the white flag. These niggas forfeiting. We gonna go back to back like it's a tournament. I came from the gutter, bitch. I was unfortunate. He tried to cop a QP, but I shorted him. She crushed up 2 perk 30s and snorted them. You ain't thugging. I heard you got locked up for loitering. Have a baby by me and I've been aborting them.
Ooh. Whoa. Whoa.
What made you pick that lyric, bro? Out of all the lyrics in the world, what made you pick that one?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really know why I picked that lyric. I just thought it was good, and specifically that last bar. I mean, you know, I don't think I should make that comment, but in Georgia, you won't be doing it. Yeah, I shouldn't make that comment. I shouldn't make that
last
comment.
bar
But
was
the next
wild.
I had to say it. It gave the show the ambiance that I was looking for. But what I really want to talk about now that I'm past my lyrics is respect the dead and respect the living. And the reason why I say that, we all know that DMX passed away last week, and we don't need to touch on how he passed away. But one thing that we can touch on is the recklessness that is beginning to ensue once we see our artists and celebrities die. And what I mean by that, my homie was in the barbershop a few days ago, and he said that the barbershop folks, they started the polls, and you know how it is with the barbershop polls. You always got to take it with a grain of salt because these Negroes don't know what they talk about. They sitting in a dark room with very few windows all day, and they just, they got to get it how they live it. And I respect everybody in the barbershop. Me, as a loyal barbershop goer, I love it. But we all know black barbershops ain't the place for facts, it's the place for fun. So
Hey, talk shit.
you said what?
Talk shit. You talk shit at.
Yeah, that's where you talk shit at. That's where you talk shit at and get the dirt on what's going down in the neighborhood. And chances are you just don't want that dirt to be about you. Or we're not going to talk about who the dirt's been about, because there has been people who the dirt has been about that's very, very close. But while he was in the barbershop, he said that they had a talk about top 5 rappers of all time. And of course, 1 week removed from DMX's death, they now have DMX in the top 5 rappers of all time. So when DMX was living, I didn't hear no talk about DMX being the top 5 rapper of all time. Now that DMX is passed, I hear all this talk about DMX being top 5 of all time. And I just want to let y'all know, when does the foolishness have to end for you all to respect people while they are still here? Does a person have to die to be appreciated? But yes, it looks as if that is so.
What I don't understand is DMX gave us one of the greatest, most memorable quotes of all time, and y'all just now saying that he's a top 5 rapper of all time. What does these bitches want? By far has been a nigga quote of life for up until recently. But yes, DMX is giving us some all-time great quotes, and y'all just not want to appreciate the Negro.
Yeah, man. And like you said, MG, RIP, rest in peace to the dead, you know what I'm saying? But DMX had his uniqueness. He was really good. That Woodstock performance, iconic. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, hit it. Fire. But come on, bro. If he wasn't on your top 5, if he wasn't on your top 5 list a month ago, come on, bro. Don't do that. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like MG so eloquently said, give people their flowers while they are living, because these lists just get different as time goes on. And I'll just say that.
And I'm cool with the list changing over time, because I think that any list about tops greats of all time is meant to be an evergreen list. It's going to be internally changing. And I respect that. But I just don't need these people to die for you all to realize that they were actually good in and of themselves. Like, God forbid, and actually, I'm not even going to say God forbid, because it's all going to happen as we get older. People like Magic Johnson are going to die, and people are going to look up Magic Johnson's stats, and they're going to say, whoa, Magic Johnson was the top 5 player of all time. But when he was alive, y'all weren't saying anything like that. Kobe Bryant, even though we're arguing that he was a top player of all time, why does it take people to die for them y'all to realize how good it is? Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, Whitney Houston, like these people, Prince, Michael Jackson. I'm just finding out new names who y'all throw disrespect. Yeah. Like Pac and Big, like, and I'm willing to guarantee you, and I don't want to sound rude when I say this because I'm not speaking ill of the dead, but I will say y'all throw so much slander on their name when they were living that y'all had no near of saying that any of these people were top tier of all time. I almost want to guarantee you, if Pac and Big were alive today, y'all would not have them in their top 10.
Bro, that's exactly, you hit on something that I was exactly thinking, like, all these top 10, top 5 lists have Big and Pac on them, but it's to your point, MG, God bless the dead, but as they pass, we kind of put them on the shrine. Like, I hear people talking, obviously I wasn't alive / was way too young to remember, the mid-90s and hip-hop back in the day, but from what I heard, Snoop Dogg was a bigger MC than Tupac was. So if you flip the roles around and Tupac ends up dying in 96 and Pac is alive today, do we talk about Snoop Dogg being top 5 MCs all time? Do we put Snoop Dogg as a top 5 MC all time today? I don't know, man. It's interesting, but that definitely is valid and holds a case.
You know what's wild? I think about that time and time again, about if you were to put out one good album and you die from it, let's say you die after it, You'll be immortalized forever. You think about people like Tay-K, put out the race and then went to jail for the next 55 years, still in jail, has a long way to go. That song is forever immortalized because of how he is. He can't put out anything else after that. You think about Snoop Dogg. If Snoop Dogg went to jail in 96 for killing that dude, which let's say jury's out on whether or not he did that, you look at that case, looks a little fishy, but neither here nor there. If Snoop Dogg went to jail, then they'll probably put Snoop Dogg as one of the best rappers of all time, because that would have been right after Doggy Style dropped, and that would have been absolutely filthy. I mean, it's tough. I respect people's lists because lists are meant to be changing, but I do want y'all to understand, don't wait till somebody's dead to give him the, like, after his last album, Humble, I kind of wish he fell off the face of the earth, which to a degree he did do, because it's going to make his music immortalized. Think about people like Bryson Tiller. Bryson Tiller, that first album that he dropped, it's escaping me right now. First album that he dropped, boom. If Bryson Tiller never put out a hit again, Trap Soul. If Bryson Tiller never put out a hit again, he would have been immortalized. Now we look at Bryson Tiller, we listen to Bryson Tiller's music to say, damn, Bryson Tiller still never put out an album good as Trap Soul. I almost want to hit it big once they fall off the face of the earth, because on the way y'all gonna love me.
Hey, that's facts, man. I mean, there's only a few artists with small bodies of work who can be immortalized. You know, I feel like Biggie deserved his graces. Those 3 albums, he got 3 albums, and all 3 of them straight fire. And he got immortalized. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Kendrick right now, he's got 3 iconic albums. If he were to never come back, I feel like he should be recognized as one of the greats. I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's hard to do, but like you said, it just seems that, you know, as you pass, you get immortalized. Like, think about Wayne, man. If he was done after the Carter 3, I feel like people would have said he is the greatest MC of all time. And, you know, as he kept going, he still gave us bars, he still gave us hits, but I feel like he's not even in people's consideration right now. And that doesn't take away those 3 back-to-back fire albums with incredible mixtapes in between that he had, man. So, I don't know, man. Perspective is interesting, that's for sure.
Yo, I find it weird, though, how that era of music when Wayne was dominating the charts, this may sound bad, so I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but it's wild of how bad or how either good that era of music was that Wayne said he's the greatest rapper of all time, or he's the greatest rapper alive, and nobody questioned it. Nobody questioned it. Nobody questioned it. Nobody thought once or twice about it. Not a single person. We all just took it and just ran with. Wayne said, I'm the greatest rapper alive, and everybody said, okay. All right, he's the greatest rapper alive.
Oh, he really did, yo. That is crazy. Literally, Wayne said
blows my mind.
The greatest rapper alive. T.I. said he was a king, and everybody's like, okay.
Everybody just said, no, but it's not that we said okay. We said okay and just ran with it. We all just agreed that, okay, all right, I guess he's the greatest rapper alive. Like, it's crazy.
It is crazy, man. But yeah. And yeah, man, you know, that food for thought coming from SB, touching on race in America right now, hitting on music, which I love, MG. I think that was good. So why don't we move on to the next segment? MG, do you have any specific individual you want to call out here?
Whoa, friends. We're actually changed the name of this segment to align with our newly awoken cultural values. We learned a while back what the MF word actually means. So we're going to be changing this segment to Who I Smoke. The reason why we're changing it to that, some fine young gentlemen down in Jacksonville, Florida, released a video called Who I Smoke, riding to the luscious and bumping beat of Vanessa Carlton's 2004 hit. I want to say 2004, 1,000 Miles. So with that, who I smoke is going to be anybody who you want to put in the dirt, roll up a little bit in the old Black and Mild or wherever filler you choose of choice, spark that bad boy on the tip, put that thing in the lips, give out a puff, because they ain't here no more. So I got two who I smokes. There's one thing that we need to address. But before we address that, I want to talk about high school parties. This is for who I smoke. Who I smoke high school parties. The reason why I want to say this is because a few of my homies from back home in the A, shout out to my two homies, y'all know who he is.
Hey.
They put an old picture in the group message. So back in Fayetteville, Georgia, we used to have these parties called No Rules. No Rules were one of the wildest parties that we always saw at high school. It was just a bunch of sweaty ass people sitting in a room trying to get twerk from the same five girls in the front. But one thing that I want to touch on is that while we were all trying to do this, at the end of the night, you had no rules, then you had no rules after rules. And that's when people, they will be in a dark room trying to get their own fool on with, different individuals at the party. And they send a picture of it with the lights on. And in the picture with the lights on, I'm going to send y'all the picture in the group message. It was a whole bunch of dudes all laid on the ground, fully clothed, with women on top of them, also fully clothed, dry humping. And the reason why I want to say that is because we really thought we were doing something back in high school, out here getting that dry hump on, fully clothed, thinking that we were hot shit in a room with 8 of our other friends. And look at this. Brucey D, you see this? SB, you see this? Look at this. Look at this. We really thought this was cool in high school. This was not cool. Stop it. And I'm saying I wasn't involved in any of that because I didn't get invited to the cool kid parties. But, just want to put that out there.
Yo, those were some wild boys in high school, man.
There were some wild people in high school.
Those were... Are you sure you want that to be seen publicly by people?
Oh, no, they put this on Twitter. It's all good.
Oh, my God, bro. That's wild. I can say I never went to a high school party like that. That is interesting and also a little weird, bro. If that was going on back in high school, you know what? Never mind, bro. That's wild.
No, you can say it. You can say it because I think what you're going to say is if that was going on in high school, what was going on in college? No, there was nothing going on in college. These people didn't go to college. That was it.
That was the peak right there, huh?
That was the peak. That was funny. The peak.
I'll go ahead and, hop on. What's the segment called again? Who you smoke?
Who I smoke. Who are you smoking on, Brucey D? Who did you put in the dirt? You rolling that little ashes. You put in that little pre-roll package of whatever you would like to do. You lighten the tip. Put it in between the 2 fingers. Put it in the mouth. Giving one puff to this person because they ain't here no more.
Hey, bro.
I'm participating in that. I'm letting you know.
I know that it's the first time we done this segment, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Cause I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Right now, I'm getting smoked. I'm getting smoked because your boy then got the second dose of the vaccine. Excuse me. Got it yesterday around 3 p.m. Was feeling great all day. Got a little headache during the evening, and we powered through. I just took it easy, chilled last night. Woke up this morning. Didn't feel too bad. Didn't feel bad. Knocked some stuff around the house. And one of the homies was like, hey, you want to come out and play some basketball by the park? Yeah, let's play some basketball. Went out there, played some basketball. The boy was winded, son. Winded. And I was like, hey, bruh, I've been working out. I'm not this out of shape. Came back home.
You dropping nothing double?
Nah, I was putting up some shots, I had to get out there,
Hey, SB, you hear that? My man said he put up a couple shots, but he never said they went in.
Hey, bro, a couple shots went up. You know how it goes, bro.
Don't let MG ever talk to you about basketball. Come from a motherfucker lost by 28 points, going to 32, lost by 28.
That man, Brucey D said he put up a couple shots, but he didn't say nothing about them going in.
Hey, bro, threw up a couple shots. Some went in, some didn't. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
He had that Tony Snell. He had that Tony Snell game.
Wow, there was no bricks being hit on the court. I got hit by a pile of bricks when I came home. Your boy is not feeling too hot right now. So, we got the second dose of the vaccine. I'm going to let y'all know what happens to me. But right now, if you see me pass out, it's because I just don't feel great right now. I'm not feeling 100%. But I had to share that with y'all.
What did you get?
I got
that Pfizer?
I got that Pfizer, which I heard is like the least, I heard Moderna, that second one sucks. Obviously, that Johnson & Johnson is wilding. And the Pfizer's like the best of the three. Yeah, blood clots. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, if I seem a little sluggish, a little out of it, that's why right now. We've been doing that throughout the episode. But yeah, man, get that second dose and hopefully this thing works, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, to be 100% honest, like I know I need to sign up for the vaccine, but the way people have been talking about it, it doesn't make me feel good knowing what y'all got to go through just to be immune and possibly have to get it again in 6 months. But possibly have to get it.
Tidbit, it's going to become like the flu vaccine. You got to get it every year.
Yeah, and what's crazy is I would take that every year, but every 6 months, it's April. So you're telling me in October I got to get it again? Nah, bro. And cases are still going up. Here's the part that gets me. Is that you can still get the virus. You just get a mild form of it, right? That just doesn't make any sense in my head. But I do want to say, today, I was the first time reckless in New York that I've been in a long time. I did indoor dine today with my former roommates. So that was weird. I had an indoor dine all pandemic long. It was weird. It was weird to sit in a restaurant. But I did it.
I'm cool with it, man.
Dine. How do y'all feel about it?
I'm cool with it, man. It is time to start opening stuff back up, yo. And I feel like as long as people are being responsible.
What's not open?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, bro.
Everything open down here. I'm in Texas.
Well, you in Texas. I'm out here in Kentucky where stuff is pretty much open and pretty much, good. But, stuff isn't all the way 100% back. Bars used to be open till 4 o'clock here. If you go to the bars, it's half capacity. They only open till midnight now. But yeah, bro, I'm cool with it. As people start getting vaccinated, as we know more about the virus and, we're a year out, I think I'm cool with it, man. I'm cool with people going out. I still want people to be responsible. Wear your mask. Do this. Do that. Don't be an idiot, but I'm with it, bro.
Yo, it's wild. I was talking to my homies today, and I was like, the only thing that's changed in Atlanta before the virus and after the virus is that there's a virus. Nothing has changed. I also learned that at the beginning of the pandemic, people were doing drive-through strip clubs in Houston. So, SB, hope you're able to make your way down there, get out that Nissan, throw a few bills, pick them back up, speed off in the four-wheeler, you know what I mean?
Throw a few Usher bills, you know what I'm saying?
Throw a few Ush bucks. Ush bucks. Yeah.
Those Ush bugs, bro. Man, the audacity he had to throw money with his face on it, bro. What's he thinking, dog?
No. You're not going to disrespect Usher like that. And the reason why I say this is because for so long, strippers have told all of us, they're like, yo, strippers, we about their money. We about that cash. Strippers, we some get money people. We out here trying to get to that check. Apparently, you didn't get to that check fast enough to see that Usher had money on the ground with his face on it.
Yo, he's just a wild boy for that, bro. That's hilarious. Oh, my God.
Guess you're going to move that fast.
Oh man, SB, who you want? God, what's the name of this segment now? What's the smoke?
Who do you smoke, SB?
Who do you smoke, SB?
I'm not participating in this because I stepped in late. So I'm just going to pull a Brucey D and I'm just going to skip this segment. You got a Brucey D?
So
That's
right
crazy.
now, Brucey D is getting smoked. The other who I smoked was, damn it, who did I smoke?
Pookie Load?
I did not smoke Pookie Loaf. That is disrespectful. I did not smoke that. It's disrespectful.
Yo.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
while I try to remember who I smoked.
One of your homies in high school with the picture?
Oh, yeah, the homies in high school, high school parties, let's just say that. But who else I smoked? We got a beef to settle. Reason why I say that it's because a certain call happened last week between two of our fellow co-hosts. Bruce Jericho Doherty gave a little call to Seanworth Buckford III. Bruce was apparently angry at your boy, yours truly. And Bruce was popping off at the gums out here, bubble gumping, telling SB about how angry he was. And we settled it. I had to send Bruce for the text message. I say, Bruce, I heard you were mad. We hopped on the phone. We hashed it out. Everything's copacetic. We all A1 since day one. But we weren't A1 since 0.5. So who I smoke? Brucey D. Because Brucey D got mad at SB, but didn't even tell Marquis that he was upset. So Brucey D over here gonna sprinkle you up in the papers, gonna grind it up a little bit, gonna the front of that bad boy, put between the two fingers, take a giant puff.
Puff. I feel it, yo. I mean, it wasn't that I was upset. I was just like, yo.
Oh, you were upset? Nah, you were mad.
All this work. Yo. I wasn't really upset.
I just don't understand.
He out here lying right now.
Hey, I just want you to know, Brucey, I respected it. Brucey D finally got mad about something. I told Marky, it was a while ago, I wonder how long it's going to take before you piss Bruce off.
It didn't take that long, y'all.
Bro. It's cool, bro, because I was just, you know what I'm saying? We got, to those of you who listen to this here podcast, we see y'all are listening out in France. There was another European country, SB, that's listening to us. Japan. Shout out y'all, And we know that y'all are riding with us. We know that y'all are tuning in every time we drop some content. We just want to do some more for you, as we get better in our craft, as we continue to put out this content, we are going to strive to be the best podcast that we can be, put out some great content for y'all. And you know what? That's all I was striving to do. And I feel like we're back on that same page, all three of us, and we about to get into it and make this podcast.
Bruce said Marky was bullshitting.
Who I smoke.
Brucey. That's okay, because that night I was sitting here like, all right, let me pour Marky in this here rap real quick. And let me just...
That's what it was, Bruce. I just don't understand why Bruce mad.
That's too funny. That's too funny. Well, I think that's about it for this segment.
Power hour.
The thing where we talk about all things going on in this thing called life. The thing where I try to get Brucey D and SB caught up. The thing where I try to understand what's going on with the world. Because frankly, I don't know. So I got two terms for y'all to start off. You know, your boy's been hanging out with the young boys. I don't mean young boys in a weird way. I mean young boys with my young homies, ones who are 21, 22, 23. And when you talk to 21, 22, 23-year-olds, they use words that, you know, we just don't know anymore. We're old. We're washed. So, dog water. What y'all got? What does dog water mean?
You know I don't know that shit.
Yo, I have no idea, son.
Dog water. Dog water apparently is the new young folks word for saying something's trash. So instead of saying, yo, that's trash, yo, that's dog water right there. Yo, bro, I'm shooting dog water. Bro, that shit's dog water. Bro, that shit ain't even hard, bro. It's dog water. Dog water apparently is what the young kids are saying.
Dog water. Interesting. Urban Dictionary. Let's pull it up real quick. Why? Dog water is a gaming way of saying trash. My brother keeps saying it to my face. Let's see. Yo, that dude is dog water. He plays too much Fortnite. Well, there you go, bro. it's all right there, I guess.
It's all right there. Yo, next up, Goated. What you got?
Say it one more time.
Goated. Goated.
That means you are certified as the best that's ever done it. The greatest of all time.
Yes, sir. Y'all got it. But we're no longer saying people are the GOAT. When you do something good, they're like, ooh, goated. Like, you're not the king. Bet. So now that we know that we're on the hip and cool words, I got another word for you. Slaving.
Tell what I was doing yesterday.
Yo, that's wild. I don't know if I want to answer that one.
I mean, is it odds of making Mr. and Mrs. happy?
I just don't understand why y'all treat me this way. I've been good to you. Me's and my family's been here for a long time.
Oh my God. That's wild. So yeah, is that what slaving is?
But yo, oh no, slaving, I just made it up. I just want to shout out to what SB was doing yesterday. That boy was slaving. He was in them streets. Yo, and then last but not least, you know how it was. Growing up, this may be a little before our time, when people would do something crazy, basically either get in a fight, hit a home run, whatever, you know, a haymaker's thrown, you would hear the term knocking niggas out like Holyfield. But Holyfield is long gone. I have somebody else who I like to replace Evander Holyfield's name with in that statement. I would like to say knocking niggas out like Jake Paul. Jake Paul is knocking niggas out. So can we all please vote to change knocking niggas out like Holyfield to knocking niggas out like Jake Paul? Because I, for one, think it's good.
I still haven't seen it.
Bro, Jake Paul is going to be the epitome. He's going to be the epitome of what white boy summer is, bro. This man, Jake Paul, his brother, and Chet Hanks are about to just live out white boy summer like no summer has been lived out. Last year was hot girl summer. White boys trying to do something, man. That was a nice little hook he had, though. That's for sure. I'll give him that.
Honestly, I'm not gonna talk shit about Jake Paul because he's put two people on the ground. And
next,
I ain't trying to be next. You know, we got a YouTube personality versus a podcast personality. I don't think the streets want that. And I'll let you know, Jake Paul, I don't fight fair. My gloves gonna be loaded. So I just want to let you all know, you know, if Jake Paul right now is currently 2-0 in his professional record. If Jake Paul's third fight is pay-per-view, are y'all paying to watch Jake Paul?
No,
not at all.
There's free streams out there somewhere.
Absolutely not, bro. I'm not doing that.
Hey, Snoop Dogg was on the call though. Snoop Dogg was on the call again. If Snoop Dogg on the call for these fights is much better than you think it would be. They need to give that man a contract.
And he part owner.
And he's part owner. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's part owner. I think he's part owner of Gorilla or something.
He stays making that bag, bro. Good for him.
He's the friendly owner.
He's the friendly stoner who we all just conveniently look over that he killed somebody back in '96.
Conveniently look over, yeah.
I don't understand it. Like, people always say, yeah, Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart's the only felon on this show. And I'm just like, so we just going to ignore the Snoop Dogg definitely killed somebody? I didn't say definitely, allegedly. And by allegedly, we're not going to go into that. So, I think that's everything. That's everything I got. Yes, please.
This is more specifically towards Brucey D.
That's
about
good.
MG. Brucey D, if somebody calls you out, and let's say chess, right? And then they realize you can actually play chess once I get started halfway through the match, would you disappear?
Bro, I put the thing
That's crazy.
That's how you know a nigga lying, Bruce.
He said, Oh my god, bro.
Play, bro. I'm on the thing right now, bro. You let me know, bro. You let me know.
You like, bro, girl, you know, girl, you know,
Bro, hey, it's your move. It's your move, bro. It's your move. You let me know what you're trying to do.
That was my only question, Brucey D. Would you run from an ass whooping?
Bro, why are y'all playing chess, you said?
Yep.
Yo, y'all are some wild boys, son. Why?
How is that wild?
Because why, out of everything you could play, y'all are playing chess virtually online?
Wait, chess fire, dog. You are hating on chess. Chess is a strategy game, my guy. If you ever bust my ass in chess, you'll understand why. That means you're out.
Why? You been giving MG the business or something?
No, he's not gonna give me the business.
First time we played, I got him in the trap. You know what the trap is? I think he can't see what the trap is, and he just stopped playing.
No, I didn't stop playing. My man had a good move. I actually got out of the trap if he would just answer the board back. Basically, I can tell you my next move. I'll tell you my next move and how I'm getting ready to bust your ass, bro. Because I can see what the move. Like, you know what? I'll put my board up on the screen. Right now, my man has bishop to e6. And what he's trying to get me to do, no, I'm sorry, he has a rook to e6. And he's trying to get me to move my knight from b5 to a7. If he moves to a7, his rook can take my knight. And I'm like, okay, cool. If he takes my knight, that basically gives him the path to, in about 3 steps, getting mate, right? Basically, I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what I'm trying to do. Fuck it, I ain't going to tell you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to move my, what is this? Bishop from f1 to f7, right? Did I say that right? No, my bishop from f1 to f6. But if I move my bishop to f1 to f6, he's going to use his pawn, which is in b6, to take my bishop, right? Nah, so I can't go out like that. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to work backwards, get myself out of the trap, and then take his queen. And I got about 7 moves. I'm going to bust his ass.
Can I put this in layman's term, Brucey D, because that was bad content what he just did. Can I put this in layman's term? I'm going to bust his ass. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to bust his ass. That's my one sole question, Brucey D.
Well, yo, if you are listening to this podcast and you understand anything that MG just said, please find him on social medias and let him know how he can get out of his conundrum in chess versus SB here.
I do want to throw one thing out here. I will hopefully admit this onto this podcast. Dum beat my ass. Dum beat my ass. Dum busted me. It caught me off guard.
That man SB ain't as cerebral as he thought he was. That NBA done got you nothing.
Hey, well, you losing to me, so what that mean about Dum too?
Bro, how am I losing to you, bro? We got the same amount of pieces on the board when nobody's in the trap.
Well, gentlemen, folks, let's move on to the last segment. if that was all we have for Power Hour, the last segment, moral of the story. When we wrap it up, we talk about something that we mentioned on the podcast earlier, bring it back full circle, or we give you a little gem here or there to pass along throughout the week, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, with that, let's hop into moral of the story. SB, you got anything you want to hit the people with for moral of the story?
Quit my job. I'm quitting. I realize what a nigga want to do with his life. Please follow your dreams, follow your passions. My bad. I fucking hate you, Marcus. That's what you're doing. You can't be an adult. You can't ever be an adult. You gotta say some slick shit. I always gotta say some slick shit. I thought I'm doing my life would be a bitch. That's some shit you always say.
I said stop being a bitch.
Anyways.
This is why we can never prosper as black men. This is why we can never move forward. People, this is my food for thought now. People, please remember that black masculinity is a thing that puts us all down to culture. MG damn bad is one of the most toxic black males that I know. Please, people, realize that you can tell your homies you love them. You can give your friends a hug. It is all right to cry. It is all right to feel your feels. It is all right to be emotional. Do not let black toxic males like MG ruin your perception of mental health from your perceptions of being yourself.
I'm the least toxic black male there is.
MG is one of the most toxic black males that there is on this earth.
Just because I call you a bitch to stop being toxic.
People, please remember, in this life, we as a black man do not want to be anything like little bitty old M Green.
You said we as a black man?
All right. Well,
you're a grammatical bitch.
What? What does that even mean? Okay. Well, that's great.
Doesn't have to
great
mean
moral of the
anything,
story
but you know what
there.
it means.
Great moral of the story there. MG, you got anything you want to hit us with for moral of the story, this wrap-up segment?
Yeah, I do. It is something by the late, the great Kobe Bryant. I know I touched a little bit on Kobe Bryant a little bit earlier in the segment, but it was in a different context. This one, I want to release one of his last known articles and or quotes in the Player Tribune. I always try to go to the North Stars. I call them the muses and draw inspiration from them because there's nothing new under the sun. Everything's been done before. And I want to let you all know, whoever has a struggle they're going through, whoever is trying to achieve some goal that seems unattainable, whoever's just struggling to see what their North Star is, understand that your path is chosen for you if you choose to live that path. Understand that you can be who you want to be, and no one else can dictate that journey. But also understand the struggle is not too hard, because while you think what you're doing may be groundbreaking and ground changing, it has been done before in some way, shape, or form. And some people have conquered it, and you can conquer it too. Be your best self.
I love that. Great moral of the story there. For my moral of the story, I want to take it back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this topic when Sean started us out. And, I feel like we should leave y'all with the gym.
Being a negative?
No, the beginning of this podcast, not when he was reaching out to y'all or reaching out to you, MG. But anyways, I feel like we should leave you with gems on ways to educate yourself. Last night, I watched a documentary on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it was just entitled Crack. And it was how crack cocaine infiltrated the streets of America, especially in the inner city. And basically, long story short, Ronald Reagan had this whole basically system set up where, his campaign ended up being the war against drugs. Nancy Reagan, just say no to drugs. While at the same time, he had a system where he was flying, giving missiles to Iran paying money to the United States, shipping that money down to places in Central America, including Nicaragua, and turning a blind eye when that money and guns went to organizations that the U.S. was trying to back to implement their government down there. And those people who were implementing the government ended up smuggling cocaine into the United States. And where was that going? Straight to the inner cities. And not only the inner cities, but to rich, empowered white folk with money who can afford it. Those people can afford pure cocaine. In the inner cities, they couldn't. So they got a little bit, they put some stuff in it, and they made crack. And you could sell crack, and you could do a lot with it. Well, anyways, another long story short, gangs happen. And one of those big gangs was the police, because they were also taking people's crack, they were also selling it, and they were also administering it to people within their districts. Well, what happened is a cop got shot. What happens when a gang member gets shot? Well, retaliation happens. Once the cop got shot, I think it was like late 1980s, they went all in on militarization of the police to go in, crack down on drug dealers, on people in possession of crack cocaine. You know, cocaine in its purest form has the same addiction level as crack cocaine. People who have money have pure cocaine. People who own crack obviously need cocaine to make crack, but it's not pure cocaine. When they implemented laws to fight against cocaine and crack, if you have 5 grams of cocaine or of crack cocaine, it was basically a 30-year minimum to go to prison. That same sentence was for 500 grams of cocaine. First of all, that's crazy right there. Police were allowed to infiltrate black communities, black families, and the whole, crack baby, crack mom epidemic happened, was portrayed in the media, and it was just crazy. But basically, if you go back, watch that documentary, see how the war on drugs got us to a position where police brutality just got out of hand, and the militarization of the police and how the prison system has locked up so many black folks since the war on drugs, you can kind of see how that correlates today and why we are in the position where it feels like every week we're seeing another black man get shot. It's crazy, but y'all should definitely look at it and understand how we get to a point like this. But anyways, I just wanted to share that because Sean was feeling radicalized the other week reading the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Feeling radicalized. I wasn't feeling radicalized. I wasn't.
That's what you said, bro.
FBI and the TI. I didn't say radicalized. I said revolutionized. It's different. Radicalized means that TI is going to pop up at the crib. Right. Radicalized means ISIS didn't got to me. I have not been radicalized. The nigga still, God bless the USA. At least I know I'm free. Wherever the rest of that shit is, I won't forget the man who died to give that life to me, and I probably will stand up next to you where the rest of that shit is. I have been revolutionized, my guy. Not radicalized.
The man who died to give your life to you, what you mean, Brother Malcolm?
I can't say you reckless, bro. You are reckless. Number one. Number two, Bruce B. I thought Bruce B was about to give us a step-by-step instruction on how to make crack cocaine. I was like, wait a minute, Bruce.
Hey, bro.
Bruce about to bring out the 10 crack. I was like, huh?
Bro, but anyways, I'm actually not going to go there. But crazy stat that people need to stick with was 2/3 of crack cocaine users. That's crack, not pure cocaine. 2/3 of crack cocaine users were white, while over 90% of people who were in prison for selling and distributing or possession of crack, 90+% were black. That tells you all you need to know right there. But, hey, man, It was
I
crazy.
can say one thing. I've never seen a black person. I've never seen a black person with cocaine. The only people I've ever seen with cocaine that came across was the white folks. I remember one story when I lived at a complex. When I lived at a complex in back in Louisville, I went next door to my next door neighbor just to say hi, see how my guy was doing. You know, he just moved in. I walk in the door. He's like, Sean, how much of a real nigga you are? I'm like, hey, number one, don't use that word around me ever again. Number two, what you mean? He pulled the paper up. He was like, yo, here you come hit one of these. I'm like, dog, I'm cool. I don't do that. Yeah, I have fun. I never associated myself with that again. But it was like the dude who used it and was using it was one of those bougie frat boy white boys that I never expected from. And they'll never arrest him, but they'll arrest somebody for a little gram of weed. Or they'll, no, I ain't gonna talk about Marcus' traumatic experience.
That'll be a time for a different podcast. But yeah, man, I didn't realize how prevalent it was till I got to college too, bro. Because people were wilding with that stuff. I was like, I don't even know where y'all get this stuff. This is ridiculous. But anyways, man, that's all I got. I hope y'all took a little something from that and go do a little more research on you know, why we're here. But y'all got anything else?
People. I cannot leave you out this today. Mark is a bitch. People. Please. I understand that Mark is a bitch, but people. I want my 2.5 million. I want my mule. I want my 40 acres. I want my reparations. I want everything. I want y'all to know Mark is a bitch. But overall, please remember that we have been systemically, each and every way possible oppressed from this corner to that corner. I don't feel like going into the logistics of it all. But please understand Mark is a bitch. But people, please remember SB wants his reparations and for you all to realize that Mark is a bitch.
All right. Well, if y'all don't have anything else, I guess that's a good place to end this episode, yo. So for my co-host SB and MG, we appreciate y'all. Have a great week, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.